Big up to Brilliant for sponsoring my 100 days of cold showers. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, Viktor Frankl, the Austrian philosopher and Holocaust survivor, said. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So you may be thinking, like, why would anyone give up their fuzzy, warm, lovely shower for a freezing cold and frankly pretty miserable experience? And the reason I got into cold showers is itself kind of funny, and I'll come onto that. But yeah, I've tried taking cold showers in the past before and just never really felt like it was for me. So over the last couple of years, I've seen tons of videos talking about the benefits of cold showers, and they always seem to be premised around this idea of just like, it's just a shower, it's no big deal, get over it and just take your cold shower. And enjoy then the benefits that come from like expanding beyond your comfort zones. But if it's just a cold shower, like it's just a shower, it's not gonna surely affect my life. So like, why would I give up this small pleasure of a nice warm shower? So what made me, having said all of that, decide to commit to doing 100 days of cold showers? Well, it basically stemmed from a conversation with my girlfriend's stepdad, John. And he basically said, I've read this book from Wim Hof, the Wim Hof method, and like, I'm taking cold showers now and they're completely changing my life. Like, I feel so energized in the morning. And when you have that conversation with your girlfriend's stepdad or dad, it's not just a chat. It's a challenge. So I decided I'd better get on with reading this book and proving to myself, and quite a lot to John, that I was able to take 100 days of cold showers. But what I didn't realize was that after 100 days of kind of taking them in the right way, using the method I'm going to share in this video, it would be something I want to do for the rest of my life. And I have today, very excitingly, just had my 100th cold shower. And I now want to share with you the main secret, I think, to why I've been able to do that, where before I failed and thought like the people doing this are completely crazy. And that is that you don't just have a cold shower from start to finish. You have a lovely warm hot shower for the vast majority of the time, but then you turn it down for that final 15, 30, 60, 120 seconds, and you kind of expand that amount of time over time as you get kind of into this. And by the end of this video, I am pretty confident that, like the friends I've already told this about who are already doing it, you will be able to take, and you will actually want to take after a month or so, a cold shower for 1 or 2 minutes at the end of your shower every single day. So when you first start out taking cold showers, and this was absolutely my experience, like you're thinking, this is painful and I don't think this will ever become even remotely bearable. And that's not right, but you won't believe me when you're in the process of doing it. So the only way I found that I was able to endure that pain for the 15 or 30 seconds at the start that I knew I needed to go through was to think about the insane health benefits that come from taking cold showers. And even more than that, you'll be getting these insane health benefits in 15 to 30 seconds, where you would probably spend an hour or 2 in the gym or on a run. So what are these health benefits? Well, the first thing that you'll feel when you take your first cold shower is extreme discomfort and this desire to turn the hot water back on. But after you step out of the bathroom, you will get this rush of, I don't know, just this feeling of being super energized and just come on, I can do anything. And it was this insane buzz of energy that really helped me just get through those first 7 days of cold showers. A 2013 study showed that short bursts of cold water exposure can effectively reduce depressive symptoms. The science and logic behind the ability of cold water to improve our moods is very convincing. We have spent hundreds of thousands of years adapting to become creatures that can be exposed to very extreme conditions, to external stresses like being chased in the wild or being exposed to extremely cold temperatures. But the vast majority, although not necessarily All of us in the developed Western world spend like the majority of our time in these temperature controlled bubbles. We put on our winter coats when we go out, we open windows when it's too hot, or we turn the heating up when it's too cold. By making the end of your warm shower cold for even just 30 seconds, you're exposing your skin to the kind of cold exposure it was designed to be exposed to. And that gives you, first of all, a huge increase in electrical impulses from peripheral nerves to your brain, which kind of give you this sudden buzz feeling. And you also get a marked increase in levels of the hormone and neurotransmitter norepinephrine, which is associated with attention, focus, and positive mood. And participants in another study, which really matches my own personal experience, said that it kind of feels like you've had the best cup of coffee ever, except without the kind of shakiness or increased heart rate that I often get from caffeine. So when I'm in the cold shower and I'm like, come on Liam, keep going, I'm imagining this rush of energy that I'm going to get from all these electrical impulses and increased hormone. And then I'm also thinking, like, this is effectively a workout for my capillaries, it's improving my metabolism and decreasing my stress. Clearly, I'm not saying that cold showers can replace exercise, but the point I try to remember is, like, if I've gone to the effort of doing some kind of even short workout, it probably took me 15 minutes. If I've gone on a run, it was like half an hour. And to then have like 15 seconds, even 30 seconds, 60 seconds of cold water on me to have radical improvements in the health benefits that come from the cold shower itself and exercise, it's kind of like, I really should just do this. Whenever you subject your body to the cold, it tries to produce heat. So if I go and stand out in the garden in just my pants, I will start shivering. That's shivering thermogenesis. And there's then another type of thermogenesis called non-shivering thermogenesis. And this is where the body converts white adipose tissue into its more metabolically active brother, brown adipose tissue, which basically just means that just by taking a cold shower, your body starts to burn more fat than it otherwise would. Studies have also shown that even just short periods of cold water exposure drive oxygen and nutrients to organs, they improve the strength of the muscles in your capillaries and blood vessels, and also decrease heart rates even well after the cold water exposure. And all of that should improve your cardiovascular health, so it's kind of like a kind of free or bonus workout for your blood vessels. And last but not least, the stress hormone cortisol is also reduced by cold water exposure. So I know that as soon as I'm out of the cold shower, I'm gonna have this energy buzz. I know that I'm getting all these health benefits. And the final thing I try to keep in mind when I'm in there is that it's gonna have a positive effect on my immune response. A study from the Netherlands of over 3,000 people showed that where people had a hot shower and then finished with this 30-second to 90-second cold blast, they actually called in to take sick leave 29% less than the control group who just had hot showers. And that number went down by 54% if they did exercise and took a cold shower. So yeah, I think those are the three things that you really just have to keep in mind when you're in that first kind of week of cold showers. But after that, there is also a second very profound benefit. Wim Hof and other like normal people that he has coached climb Mount Kilimanjaro in nothing but shorts. And while this still to me seems utterly insane, like why would anyone want to do that? It is, when you think about it, pretty inspiring. And I think it does genuinely motivate me, like keeping in mind this image of them enduring that pain to just be able to sustain like even 2 minutes in a cold shower in my heated house. And while I'm definitely not yet in a position to climb mountains bare-chested, I for a start definitely don't have anywhere near enough chest hair, I am able to control my response to cold water much better than I could have done even 2 months ago. You are effectively training yourself to respond to stress. There is a stressful stimulant, which is the cold water, and you're learning as you expand this amount of time from 15 to 30 to 60 seconds to deal with that stressor, to breathe through it, to relax, and to know that you remain in control even when there is something intensely stressful coming at you. Wim Hof calls the cold a mirror. And by that he means that when you encounter the cold, you see a reflection of your own ability to respond to stressful stimulation. And for me, as someone who has always been considered a relatively stressy person and someone with a relatively low physical pain threshold, at least by my girlfriend, by my parents, I would say that I've really seen cold showers as like an opportunity to prove to myself that I can control stress and that I can kind of improve my pain threshold. And now I am genuinely like kind of proud that my response to the cold water is and will continue to be one not of submission and kind of powerlessness and panic, but one of control and power over my own physical and mental response. So yeah, with all of that in mind, those main benefits and the thought that you're kind of going to be able to prepare yourself for any stressful situation that comes your way, go and take your first, or maybe revisit like me, cold showering now. And with your greater energy, focus, and confidence, you're going to be even more in a place where you're just so motivated to develop yourself. And one of my favorite places to do that is on Brilliant, today's sponsor. Brilliant tells these kind of interactive stories that reduce what seems like a really complex idea. We're talking multivariable calculus neural networks and all that kind of clever stuff powering the future of the world into something you can truly understand. Brilliant says that it guides you to explore the laws that shape our world, and that has been my genuine experience of it so far. The Python course has improved my understanding of the programming language better than any app or course I've ever used. It allows you to develop this deep understanding with relative ease because everything is just so approachable and bite-sized and really strangely addictive, which feels like a really weird thing to say about an education app, but it really is. The courses focus on developing a sharpness in the way you think through interactive quizzes and challenges, and if you struggle at all with maths or science, for example, I have no doubt that the way it breaks things down will increase your confidence and knowledge pretty flipping quickly. The first 200 people to sign up to Brilliant using my link at the top of the description will get 20% off their annual subscription, so do go and check Brilliant out. And if you enjoyed this video, you might also like my video about practical minimalism, in which I share 5 simple habits I'm using to focus on the things that really matter.